Like we're live, back with another Causeway Live video. It's been a while, but I figured this was probably the best way to update folks on what's been a busy weekend. Not that you would have known that, because for about a day or so I've been out of action with my phone. Maybe one of the most stressful things that can happen in the 21st century, bizarrely, especially for someone whose business orients around phone and social media. And it was a pretty good insight for me just to see how dependent I've become business-wise, and even sometimes just tricking myself as business-wise, but actually falling into all the addictive social media traps of watching who's following, what I'm doing online, how much engagement I'm getting, and telling myself that that's really important for a business point of view, which it is, but it's also triggering the brain chemistry in the same way that most people are addicted to social media, even without the business angle as well. So anyway, important insight for me, but ironically jumping back on social media to inform you that since I've been offline more or less for a day or so, that it has been busy. I had a Wim Hof method breathwork class in Live Love Yoga last night and had a beach workout this morning. Normally I would have photos straight up online and you could see the beautiful studio and the nature that I'm getting people moving around outdoors in. That wasn't the case over the last day, and like I said, it was weird to notice my own kind of anxiety at being unable to share all the exciting things that I'm doing and putting out there. So something for me to be aware of and share my process. So Causeway Living is as much vehicle for me to help other people as it is my own vehicle to help myself and share the journey along the way. So it's been interesting, but we're back, we're operational, and even though I was without a phone last night for the breathwork class, Graham, who runs Live Love Yoga, was able to snap a couple of pictures, so we'll put that up during the week. And also, while that post goes up and I'm talking about it, to let you know that there's a chance to join me actually in the studio instead of just following online. Be really helpful if more people actually attended than just following online. So get yourself to Live Love Yoga next month. I'll post that picture up during the week whenever I get that from Graham. You'll be able to see the nice studio. You'll be able to find out the dates and more information in the class. I'm pretty sure off the top of my head it's the 16th of August. And you can come along for what the guys got to experience last night, which was a bit of guided focus on the breathing mechanics in the body, learning how the breath actually moves in the body, getting the physical experience of that, but also getting it demonstrated, and doing a short guided meditation before going into the full Wim Hof method breathwork practice, which is a lot of fun. It's just a practical experience of the breathwork and a good opportunity for anyone who wants to just experience it before signing up to a full workshop. But it's also a good opportunity for those who've already done a workshop and want to come back and just do the breathwork part all over again. Because on the full workshop, there's an explanation going into the science behind what exactly is going on physiologically and psychologically with the Wim Hof breathwork, but also the other two pillars, mindset and the cold. You can join me also in the Mourne Mountains for that kind of fun. So that's going to be 10th of August and 31st. Probably should have written down these dates before going live, but you can see it all on the events page in the Causeway Living Facebook page. So just go out and check the events section if you want to come along, and it will be fun to see you there. Before all that, I have a retreat this weekend, which is going to be great crack. There is still one space available on that, and that's going to be down in Tullymore Forest. So very much looking forward to that. I'm going to be heading down this week to walk around the area and just get another feel for the trails and area, and probably jump in the river myself, considering I'm going to be getting a group of other people to do that during the week. It's the best fun. But other than river, we also have a big old ice bath at Bryansford Cottage, which is going to be the host of the retreat, and I'm very much looking forward to taking people there and having a great old time with Mary, Jay, Daniel and Dougal the dog, who will be the hosts, along with me teaching the Wim Hof method over the course of a weekend. going even deeper than you would go on the 1 day experience, ultimately leading up to, on the 3rd day, doing something called the Wim Hof method power breathing. Something that I haven't actually had the opportunity to teach that much, because normally whenever I'm teaching the Wim Hof method, it's just the fundamentals. So this is one of the rare opportunities that you can go and do one of the most advanced Wim Hof breathwork practices. You can do an ice bath and rake around in nature and jump out into the cold water in the river at Tullymore. So that's going to be great, but it also represents a good milestone for me and a bit of a break in the schedule. The weekend after that is the first weekend in a little while that I'm going to actually take a weekend off. So that's good. I'm going to get a little bit of a rest, and yeah, it's a little bit overdue. If you've been following the Causeway Living stuff, if you're watching right now, you probably get to see that things have been even more active than normal lately. Lots of workshops, private workshops, workshops on the road, and I need to reorient my priorities to put my own self-care first and foremost, find a better balance, and just look again at how I'm approaching things with Causeway Living. With any business, particularly one that's so niche, it's always a process of iterating and trying new things, and I'm very excited to use the process of the break after the retreat in the following weekend coming up to look again at my approach, and a few things that I've got in mind for that. One is coming right back full circle to the start of this video, reducing time on social media for myself. It takes a surprising amount of time and effort to not only create the content, something of value, something that's visually interesting, so a nice picture or video to go out, have something that has meaning behind it and hopefully offers value to someone in their day-to-day life, but also to reply to the responses that come from that. I get a lot of, because I put my heart into the content that I put out there, I think people really respond to that, and I get a lot of really nice messages back, and an opportunity for me to help people who are maybe going through the same thing. But yeah, it's like a full-time job just running the Causeway Living social media platform as I'm currently running it, apart from doing the workshops and everything else, and then creating time to look after myself as well. So on the other side of this workshop, I'm going to look at scaling that back a little bit and reorienting and refocusing my time probably more towards approaching businesses as well. So if you do run a business and have a wellness budget or an interest in looking after your staff, getting the healthiest, happiest, strongest version of your staff to perform at the highest level possible, or again, sports teams, same kind of idea. If you get your individuals performing in the best way possible, the overall team performance will be optimum output. That is something I can absolutely deliver on a small scale, like from example on my Wim Hof method workshops in the mornings for 6 people, or on a large scale like a couple of months ago, I think now, with up to 70 people and 3 ice baths in Vermont when my friends Brad and Josh took me over to America to deliver a Wim Hof weekend, which was really exciting. And yeah, very excited to do more big events like that. So that is very much on the cards in the future, scaling back the social media stuff, but also instead of that being a process of stepping away from general public, quite the opposite. As much as I want to approach businesses and organizations and help those as well, I want to create a platform to supplement the good things that people are already doing for themselves. I've mentioned this a few times in recent posts, if anyone's been actually reading the stuff I put out there instead of just looking at the pictures. But basically creating a monthly program at a relatively low cost that people can sign up to, and on a monthly basis maybe get things like a guided audio meditation each month or guided breathwork session that you can apply over the month, and there'll be a dedicated Facebook group to keep accountable and offer support for sticking to the things like the meditation, the breathwork, maybe some outdoor fitness tasks. So scale, like with everything I do, scaled to fit every person to wherever they're at. So building up on outdoor time and fitness over the month. All kinds of different challenges that supplement the good stuff that you're already doing. Because most people who are interested in what I'm doing, Causeway Living and wellness and health in general, usually have a thing that they're already into, whether that's yoga, martial arts, CrossFit, whatever. That's great, and I don't want to take you away from your current passion, but there's certainly things you can be doing to supplement that. And if your passion is competitive, like CrossFit or martial arts, and all the little Causeway Living lifestyle tips and values and things that you can integrate into your life will actually enhance your performance in that as well. So having a daily breathwork practice or working on mindset, even simple things like staying hydrated, which reminds me to take a drink, and planning out your meals for the next day so that you're not making hungry decisions. The idea would be following the Causeway Living model of small steps to giant living. We'll probably look at a different step each month, create a task around it, use the online group to support each other, and maybe there'll even be a competitive element to that where maybe for fun, say for example, if there's going to be a practice of stacking stones, that's something I like to do. Let's see who can do the highest stone stack, and we'll get measuring tapes out, and it'll be good crack as well. Because all the health and wellness stuff is great, but people won't stick to it unless it's fun. Something I've found myself, and like the beach workouts and everything, and I hope that comes across in a sense of what I'm doing, that there should be a bit of humour to it, there should be a bit of fun. I worry about anyone who's taking themselves too seriously whenever it comes to health and wellness. Like, we're all just trying to have a laugh and get along and enjoy it, so that would be very much at the centre of it. And yeah, different options. So the basic version where you just sign up and get the various tasks and challenges and media to support that, whether that's videos or seminars, audio files, and then there'd be other options on top of that. So if anyone wanted extra coaching through it, and that could be something that I could offer one-to-one in person or online for folks who would be participating around the world, just doing a video call, something like this, and create other options maybe for people in person to have gatherings. So maybe throw in a beach workout, maybe guided forest walk with a breathwork session beforehand, special road trips to the moors, and maybe do a big group swim in one of the lakes. This is all coming up to the top of my head, but a little bit more thought has to go into the practicalities of it, and that's all going to be worked on in my little week off following the retreat weekend coming up soon. So that's more or less the big update. The small update was all the crack of this weekend, the breathwork session and Live Love Yoga. That was brilliant, and thank you again to Graham and Gail who let me use their studio for that. Thanks again to the guys who turned up for the beach workout this morning. My sincere apologies for not being able to share all the good content that I'd normally be able to, but I do have my phone back in time for Dash and Splash tomorrow, so you will have the regular Sunday video going out for that. Thankfully, I don't have to build up further anxiety levels of not being able to share regular content tomorrow. And also just look in and check in on myself about the reaction that caused me whenever I'm not able to share a picture or a video from the cool stuff that I'm doing, and why that might be. So yeah, that will be less and less over time, especially the Instagram story stuff. I actually enjoy doing that, but I think it takes you out of the moment a little bit whenever you're stopping to take a short video and thinking, oh, this would be great content, or going down for a nice sunset and noticing how beautiful it is and just trying to capture the perfect 15 seconds of scanning across the horizon and showing people what a beautiful place it is that I live in. It's all well and good for gaining followers, but ultimately what's the real purpose in that other than feeding your ego? And yeah, I need to readdress that a little bit. And yeah, it's always a process, always a journey. I'm always doing my best to be as sincere and honest as possible about that stuff. So hopefully, if you can relate and have your own social media addiction problems, which you may do if you're one of the people who are watching me right now, after this live video, maybe put down the phone, go out for a walk, cycle, swim, whatever, bit of time outdoors. That's what I'm going to try and do this evening, get out on the bike and get a bit of extra fitness after the beach workout this morning. Get a bit of extra fitness tomorrow afternoon at 1 p.m, starting at Picky Fun Park, going for a 30-minute jog and jumping in the sea like every Sunday. That reminds me, it's Dash and Splash 95 tomorrow, which means we're only 5 weeks away from Dash and Splash 100, and that happens to fall on the last Sunday, which I think is the 24th of August. And it's a bank holiday weekend, basically the end of summer, end of school holidays, which, you know, even at the ripe old age of 31, still kind of feels like the end of summer. And yeah, that'll be Dash and Splash 100 will be an opportunity to have a bit of a party and celebrate the end of summer before moving into the cooler months of September and onwards. So initial thoughts, I'm going to put more out in this in due course, but initial thoughts are moving Dash and Splash to the evening for that one-off 100th special splash, and doing something roughly in between the solstice splash from this year and the one from 2018. 2018 solstice splash was about the size of a normal Sunday. Now it was about 80 people there, maybe slightly bigger, and we had one fire pit at the beach, and it was great crack, and maybe just reliving that more or less for the 100th Dash and Splash, but probably a few more people than there was for the 2018 solstice. If it's anything like the 2019 solstice and there's a couple hundred people on that beach, I'm not really sure how we're going to cope, but I'm sure we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. And there's plenty of room in the sea, so the tides are also good for that day, so everything's in our favor. Keep everything crossed for the good weather. As you know, on all Causeway Living events, generally the weather's pretty good, so I'll do my best to put in a good word and see what I can do, get the sunshine out for that weekend, do my best for tomorrow as well. And yeah, come join me then, come join me tomorrow, 1 p.m. at Picky Fun Park. All the other stuff I talked about, you'll see in due course, the monthly programme, all the other stuff you can find on the events section of the Causeway Living page. And yeah, thanks for tuning in and joining me on a Causeway live video. May do more of these in the future, but if so, you know what, this actually might be a good thing for the monthly program. Do it on a special topic. So there's certain things that people ask me about all the time. People are always dead curious about, like, tell me about ayahuasca, tell me about Peru, tell me about what it was like with Wim Hof on the top of a mountain in the snow. And I'm excited to share those stories. I often find myself telling the same stories at workshops, so maybe that's something I can do just on a live video for the guys who sign up for the monthly program. That might be fun, and a chance to submit questions and share a little bit more about the crazy journey that's brought me to sitting behind my phone talking into it and you sitting there listening. That'll all be covered in the book, which is another thing further down the line, but we're getting there. It's a process, and yeah, thanks again for tuning in this evening, and see some of you tomorrow. And for those of you who I don't see tomorrow, time to get your act together and get done on a Sunday, to be honest. And if you don't live in Bangor, fly in for one of the Sundays, it's worth it. You know, just ask any of the guys who regularly turn up, sign up to the Team Dash and Splash group, great crack. And you'll see why it's worth coming here. So until next time, folks, thank you again, and peace out.